let's put our hands together for your first comment tonight, Mr. Bill Squire.
Thank you guys very much. So my name is Bill Squire, and I wet the bed until an unreasonably old age, like way too long to wet the bed. Like a lot of people stop wetting the bed when they are potty trained. Like it's like, okay, I don't pee my pants during the day, why would I do it at night? I'm just gonna stop. But I wet the bed like 7 or 8, like that's understandable. It's not unheard of, but people do that. I wet the bed until I was 14 years old. 14 years old. There was kids at 14 years old that could grow full beards. There was kids that could, they had sex. There were kids that are being tried as an adult at 14 years old. And I still wet the bed. And it's not like my parents didn't try and fix it. They tried to help me. Like, they took me to doctors. They took me to try and figure out what was wrong. And the doctors said, he'll grow out of it one day. So in the meantime, you just got to deal with it. And so I had to wear diapers every night. Like that, I had rubber sheets and I wore diapers. And not just any diapers. I was a kid in the 90s. So they had these things called pull-ups. Remember pull-ups? It's like underwear that you can pee in. And I fit those until I was 14 years old. Now, I'm telling you guys this because I'm doing this project where I do 10 new minutes every month. I don't want to tell you this. I just ran out of shit to talk about. So, I have to tell you this. I have nothing else in the tank. But I went to bed, I wear diapers, I wear these pull-ups. You remember the theme song for pull-ups? Mommy, wow, dun, 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 dun. I have no self-confidence now, right? Remember how that whole thing went? So I had that problem till I was 14, and towards the end of my diaper wetting era, I had some dry days, and I was feeling good about myself. I was getting a little cocky, and I had like 3 days in a row where I was dry, and we were on vacation at the time. We always went on the worst vacations, because our vacations were always just us going and visiting other family members that I wanted nothing to do with. Like, we go drive like 15, 16 hours to see these cousins. They were just hilljackson. They're like, hey, you want to play Matchbox cars? I'm like, what the fuck is a Matchbox car? They're like, it's a little metal car with plastic wheels. You push it down a track. I'm like, you mean Hot Wheels? They're like, yeah, we call them Matchbox cars. I'm like, I can't relate to that shit, man. There's nothing, I don't want anything to do with you. Just a snobby-ass little shit. That's a pretty cocky attitude to have as a 14-year-old bed pisser that still plays with toys. But we were on this trip. We were going to Arizona, and we were stopped one night, and we were in a hotel. I had 3 nights in a row where I didn't have to wear, where I was dry, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to wear a diaper tonight. I think I've finally gotten over this whole thing, and I was sleeping on this pull-out mattress, the pull-out couch, with the metal bar and the thin mattress. That's the couch that invented scoliosis. Like, there was no such thing as scoliosis before the pull-out couch. So I was sleeping on that thing. And after these 3 nights of being dry, I just pissed all the piss. Like 3 nights worth and then some. Just dripping through the mattress onto the ground. I know, it was disgusting. And the only reason I tell you that in such graphic detail is because when my mom saw it, she's like, what happened? Why didn't you wear your diaper? I was in denial that it was pee. And I said, well, maybe I had a wet dream. Because I knew what it was, but I didn't know how much stuff came out or what the stuff was like. And so basically my mom had to tell me that comes not piss. So I still tried to live a normal childhood. I'd still go on sleepovers. And what I'd do is I would just hide my diaper in my pillow, and then when everyone went to sleep, I would sneak into the bathroom, put on my pull-ups, and then walk very carefully back to the bedroom as to not wrinkle the diaper and wake up my friend, because they'd be like, oh, what was that noise? And I have to cover up, be like, oh, maybe your dad's reading the newspaper or something at 4 in the morning. And I couldn't even do that because there's no newspaper anymore, so if I was a kid now, they'd be like, what was that noise? I'm like, it's an app that makes it sound like your dad's reading the newspaper. I don't know why I bought it. It was $2.99. It was a waste of money, but I got to get my money's worth. So the good thing is I was a small enough kid that I could wear the pull-ups. I didn't have to switch to Depends when I got a little older. Because that would have just been, that's fast forwarding right through my entire life. Like you go from baby diapers to adult diapers, and you're just like, there is no middle, there is no happiness. Like there's no. So I'm glad I didn't do that. But I'd go on these different sleepovers, and I had some incidents. One time I fell asleep on my friend's living room carpet before I put my diaper on and just pissed all over his carpet. And to cover it up, I just poured grape soda all over the floor on his kind of white carpet. So that was, I feel really bad about it, but I also feel kind of like, hey, I covered it up. Good for me. And there's another time I was at a birthday party, and the kids wanted to have a pillow fight, and one kid grabbed my pillow, my diaper fell out, and he saw it, he started making fun of me, and I grabbed him and threw him on the ground and started choking him. Not like one hand, I'm kind of mad at you, like two hands, knees on his chest, choking the life out of him, telling him that if he told anybody about my diapers, I would murder him. The ironic thing about that is if I had murdered him, everybody would have known that I was a bedwetter. Like it would have been in all the newspapers. I could see the headline, adolescent bedwetter slaughters playmate, comma, ruins Zach's birthday. One of the most memorable moments happened, I was sleeping at my friend's house. I was probably about 11 at the time, and my friend had a little brother that was about 8, and he was kind of a weird kid, like he didn't have a lot of friends, and so we had to play with him and let him do everything with us. So when it was time for bed, they both wanted me to sleep in their bed, so their parents' idea was to push their beds together, and I could sleep in the middle. And so, we get in bed, I got my diaper on sneakily, and we're laying there, and my friend's little brother is just kind of staring at me. It's like, after a while, like everybody stopped talking and giggling, and we're just looking, our eyes have adjusted, and we're just looking at each other in the dark, and he gets this weird smile on his face, just this creepy, smile. And he reaches over and grabs my dick, and instead got a big handful of diaper. We were both very surprised at what was happening at that moment, because he thought he was going to get dick. I didn't think I was going to get my diaper grabbed, and so we looked at each other, and we're just like, well, I won't tell if you don't tell. Like we were both able to keep a pretty good secret until this, but I won't tell you his name. But he's getting married, which not to a dude, and I'm just like, should I say something? He'll figure it out. It's weird to be molested by someone younger than you, because he's 8, I'm 11, like I can't be like, hey, grab my dick, I feel weird about it. Like, there's not a lot of reports that way. Like, you can't do that when you're older, though. You can't be like, well, I'm 23, she's 28, I guess it's fair game. Like, that's too far. But 8 and 11, I can't, blame all the problems in my life on that kid grabbing my dick when I was wearing diapers at 11. See, I told you it was going to be weird. That's about all I got. I wish I had a better closer, but I just don't. Thanks, guys. That's all. My name's Bill Squire. Good night.